Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Welcome one and all to the Dukes of Gaming podcast. Thank you for choosing to hang with us for the next hour and some change as we talk about video games and the world surrounding them. You can find us on your favorite podcast service, watch us live on Twitch, and you can watch us later on YouTube where you get a spare moment. As always, I have the pleasure of being joined by my fellow Dukes of Gaming, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Joining me first and foremost, he longs for the media of yesteryear. Coming to you live from Virginia, we have the Duke of Nostalgia, Taylor.
Thank you. Please sit down. No, come on. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Second foremost, West Coast represent. He's Bungie certified and the tallest Duke by a wide margin. Game design is his passion, hence why he is the Duke of Design. How are you, Ben?
Second foremost, I'm going to strangle you one of these days.
Don't strangle me yet, because third foremost, he's our law expert, headband expert, business expert, but more importantly, he's the Duke of Rocket League. How are you, Cole?
I'm good. My Rocket League rank has been slipping lately, so I've slipped out of the champion material, but I'm coming back strong. Good to be here.
We're praying for you. We're praying for the rank. And last and least, I make beats, I rap, they're all heat, plus I host, and I watch anime because I am your Duke of Anime, Thomas. And with that being said, as always, we start the show with the age-old question. What have we been playing this week? I'll go first because I'm quick. I was looking through Metacritic just randomly to see what are the highest rated games of all time. And I think 7th on the list was this random visual novel anime game. It was ranked like right below Elden Ring. And I'm like, what? How have I not heard of this game? This little game is called The House in Fata Morgana. It is a vampire anime game. It's very slow, very non like action based, like almost like a drama. Not Castlevania by any means, but it's very interesting. And besides that and Ring Fit, that's pretty much all I've been playing this week. I've only gotten maybe 3 hours into it, so I don't really have many thoughts on it. So that's all I've been playing.
Boy, that's why is it the best? One of the best games of all time?
I can't tell you.
Hey.
This is like a 30-hour game, and I'm like 2 hours in.
Okay, all right.
And so it's like I don't want to.
Surface.
Yeah, and you know how visual novels are. They're like reading a book. So it's like I don't want to, because right now, like if I were to judge it, like it definitely don't seem like it's no 97 on Metacritic.
Yeah.
But I want to let it play out. I want to play it. One thing I did discover though is the Steam Link app on the iPhone it feels like it's made for visual novels because there's no latency. I'm just like playing this game off my computer, just like in a hotel room. Just it's amazing. I never realized that Steam even had that feature. Out of all the game streaming things I've used, Xbox streaming, PlayStation streaming, Steam probably has the best one. I've only tested it on a couple games, but it worked really well with this visual novel. So this is how I'm probably going to consume most of my visual novels from now on. So, but yeah, I'll probably have more thoughts on the House of Fata Morgana next week. So stay tuned for that.
Are you trying to go through and play some of the greatest games of all time? Like, are you going to try to knock out like the top 50 or?
Yeah, I'm not playing Ocarina of Time again. I feel like though a lot of those games on that list were really good at the time. Like there was one game I did start up that I thought I was going to play this week that's on that list, which is the original Half-Life. Has not aged that well. Has not aged well at all. Like that camera is horrible. So it's like I don't want to ruin my memory of some games trying to play them now.
There is a remake of Half-Life, a fan remake that is pretty faithful, and it's made in Half-Life 2's engine. It's called Black Mesa.
I've heard of that. I didn't know that was the remake though. That's interesting.
Yeah.
You said it's fan made?
It is fan made.
Okay.
It's not official, but it's pretty darn good.
I'll check that out.
I played it a long time ago, back before they like finished it. They had like the Black Mesa section, but they didn't have the entire game at that point. And pretty impressive stuff. I would say that that's like a pretty good way to experience that story. But the original Half-Life is it still holds up in some ways, and then in other ways, it shows its age a little bit.
It seemed I played Half-Life 2. I never played Half-Life 1, so I picked it up for $10 on Steam, and it was losing me real quick.
Were you playing the Source version? Half-Life Source?
Okay. No, I was playing the original.
You were playing the original, okay. You might have better luck with the Source version. I don't know how different the Source version is. It's just ported to the newer engine. So
got it. I might have to try that because I'm interested in it. I liked Half-Life 2 when I played it, but it's been a while since then. And the original one definitely to me doesn't hold up. But hopefully I'll try. I'm gonna try Black Mesa. It actually sounds pretty compelling. That was a pretty good sell on it. So, but besides that, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
Speaking of good sells, House of Fata Morgana is available on Vita, so I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Hey.
I gotta know why this is one of the best games of all time.
I was shocked when I saw it on the list because I'm like, I don't think there's any visual novels on this list besides this. And it's like, this gets a 97. And I will say it starts off very slow. So just be prepared for like the first 3 hours of it feeling, you're going to feel that 3 hours. And Cole has gone to the abyss.
I tricked y'all.
Little trick.
Cole, why don't you go? What have you been playing this week? Before
I've been playing Rocket League, and I've been losing. I feel like it's like the stock market. Like I'm just trending down. I'm just like, gosh, I was so good a few weeks ago.
More like the crypto market.
Both. It's awful.
Yeah.
But so I've been playing Kirby a little bit, which I've talked about that before, which I wouldn't recommend unless you have kids and you can play with kids. And it has been awesome to watch my children play that game. I was telling Ben about this the other day, watching them like solve puzzles and stuff, and they're 4 and 3, and they both play. I have 2 Switches. They play at the same time, and there are nice little puzzles in there, for kids. Like what does Kirby have to eat to get past, the certain part of the stage? And they're figuring it out, and it's really impressive. I'm a proud papa watching them become gamers.
Proud gamer dad.
Yeah, I am. It was because before they would just run around and play Mario and just like it was very straightforward. So now they're actually they're problem solving, and it's cool.
That's dope. That's super dope.
Yep. So. And then the other game I played was Fortnite. I loaded Fortnite up there's a no build mode, and I haven't tried it out, and I hate building. So I wanted to play it, and it's pretty good. It's pretty cool. Did y'all know how the skill based matchmaking works now?
Not a clue.
Explain
Yeah.
to it.
Okay, so there's skill based matchmaking now, which was a big complaint of Fortnite when I was. That's really essentially why I got out of Fortnite, because you couldn't play a game without someone building you under, building around you and killing you with traps in a build, and like it just got to be so. It was so hard. Like imagine playing Rocket League and playing someone like you're a new player and playing a champion rank, and they just destroy you. That's what Fortnite was
Like
like.
you, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And there should be a skill-based matchmaking system. Yeah, imagine playing Cole Ace 33.
The Duke of Rocket League himself. Oh my god.
No, but that's not fair. It shouldn't be like that. There should be a skill-based matchmaking. And all the Fortnite, like the great players, they hate it because they just want to get on and just destroy folks, And yeah, so like their whole community complains about it, but the mass majority of people that play, it's great for. But the way they do it is they put bots in the game, which that kind of sucks. And you can easily tell. So when I played, I would say I encountered probably 10, 15 bots. And then at the end, you get down. So I was reading about it. So the way the bot system works, there can be upwards of like 75 bots in a game. That's the way it works. So if you're at the bottom of the totem pole,
75.
Yes, you could get up to 75 bots in a game. So 15 real players. So and you can tell like they'll come up to you and they're shooting at a wall, or they're terrible. They're not smart. You can just tell they're bots. But
That's pretty bad.
But the more I guess the better you get, the more eliminations or whatever, it scales it down from 75 to like 50 to like 15 bots. And then
that other games do that. I know when I was playing Call of Duty Mobile for a bit, that did that too, where I'm like rampaging through this like multiplayer like match. This is crazy. And then I really was looking, I'm like, oh wow, there's a bots. Like there's no way. And then I looked it up and it's like, they fill the thing with bots until you reach a certain point. And then they start ranking you with real players. I don't hate it. If you're I feel like for new players, that's fine. Because if you're new, you probably can't even tell they're bots because you're still trying to learn the game. But if you're an experienced player, that kind of piss me off a little bit.
Well, and then after you play for a while, you start getting to where there's less and less bots. But so on the building mode, they rank players by build speed, by eliminations. It's like a combination between build speed, eliminations, and what was the other? There was another metric they used to whatever. Anyway, the no build mode, they rank people strictly by the amount of eliminations they get per game, not the amount of time you survive. It's just by the eliminations. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. But the no build mode is fun. It really to me, it's like it's a whole new game. It's like a new experience because it's just stealth and strategy.
Basically PUBG at that point, right?
Yeah, it's like a cartoony PUBG. I mean, it's nice. But yeah, I played it and I liked it. They switched to Unreal Engine 5. I don't know if y'all knew that. They switched from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal
Engine 5. The first
Engine
Unreal Engine 5 game.
Yeah. I didn't really notice a difference. The graphics look great to me on PS5. Reflections look good. There's reflections and stuff. But it's fun. I mean, it's Fortnite, and I think it's better. I think it's for the better to have the no build mode. But apparently, it's permanent.
Are you getting really? Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
so
I think it is
a permanently available mode, so you can choose between no build or build mode. Is that right?
Yeah, and it is crazy because I was looking on there. Used to they had solo, duos, and squad, and that was it. So everybody went into that. Now there's solo no build. There's duos no build. Trios no build. Squads no build, and then there's like party mode and hangout mode and all this crap.
When you got the server health, you can stand to break up your audience quite a bit.
I bet you they're seeing the stats on this no build mode, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are coming back into it because of that. Matter of fact, I think they announced that it was permanent.
Yeah, I'm definitely more interested in checking it out now that building's not mandatory.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, look, it's bringing all four of us back in. I mean,
I'd like to play with you guys. So
yeah, I would too. I haven't touched Fortnite in maybe 8 months, maybe. think I played
Yeah.
a game 8 months ago, and I was like, I forgot why I didn't, want to play this anymore.
It's fun. It's when you play with by yourself, it's just whatever. But when you play with friends, it is a fun game. And I've spent like $60. I would log on the past 2 years whenever a downloadable pack would come out, like the NFL pack. I got Michael Vick, and I put a little dog on his back, and then I got it was terrible.
Wait,
But-
what? That's
Wait,
wild.
you can play as the real Michael Vick in Fortnite,
Yeah.
Michael Vick was a character.
and you can play as the
Falcons.
Joker, and
I
you can
got-
play as Rick and Morty, and you
Yeah.
can play as
So you got the last like 6. So it's like Michael Vick versus like Rick and Morty versus like I don't know.
Thanos. Yeah,
It's like the ultimate metaverse. It's like Ready Player One. It's absurd.
What on earth?
Who'd you say, Ben?
I said Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought you said
Shotguns.
Bible Man. I
Wait,
was
let me
Bible Man.
clarify. Let me clarify, y'all.
Dude, I want to
not
play as
really-
Bible Man.
Yo, I'm
I
not
play
really.
Bible Man too.
I'm not really playing as Michael Vick. I'm playing as a Falcons jersey number 7.
Okay, got it.
So
Epic
it's
was
a
definitely
generic-
about as suious. Like, we have never put Michael Vick in the game, and we definitely would put a dog on his back.
Yeah. Anyway,
We
so I
never.
was Vic with a dog, and then I downloaded the Ghostbuster pack, so I got my Ghostbuster character. Like, it's awesome. All these different characters you can buy. It's fun. Anyway,
Are you getting like the battle royale itch where you're like, oh, God,
Yeah.
I gotta go in for another?
yeah, it's fun. The battle royale is so cool because it's not the respawn. It's not that respawn kill death. Like, I hate that kind of gaming, like Call of Duty. I loved it in college, but now I'm just like want like consequence to my death.
It's finality. You're
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I like
Hunger
that.
Games.
Yeah, it's way more strategic. I like that. But now they have the reboot vans, which I don't know if y'all remember those, but like if Thomas and Clams are out, me and Ben could make it to a reboot van and we can reboot you during the game. But
They
like
took that from. Oh, they definitely took
Apex,
that from
yeah.
Warzone. Or
Yeah,
Apex
it
and
was
Warzone. That's crazy.
I think Apex was the one that did it first. There's also
Yeah,
I think so.
a ping system now, like Apex. They took the ping system from Apex.
Apex, I feel put a lot of those games in check because
Apex was good.
those like I feel like when Apex came out, it really did change the battle royale format a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely the least popular out of the big 3, but I still think it's comfortably number 3.
Yeah.
I might have to get back into Apex actually.
Did y'all play PUBG? Were y'all fans of that?
I played it on my phone for a bit, but it was on PC and Xbox, so that was
Yeah, I
kind of
played it a
anything.
good bit when it was first out on PC, like in early access, and I enjoyed it. I didn't get deep into it. I was maybe like 25 hours in. I don't think I ever got a chicken dinner, but I got second many times. But yeah, I mean, like battle royales are great, and you definitely like they are super addictive. But I don't know that I'm like super compelled to dive deep into another one. I kind of just I either want, if it's a multiplayer game, I want a little bit of variety, or mostly I just want to play single player games most of the time.
Yeah, well, that's what's good about Fortnite is that we could all pop on there for one night. We hadn't played it in a year, and we could have a good time.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And with skill-based matchmaking, we could have competitive games, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
PUBG, we would get absolutely destroyed if we all tried to play. But
I feel
anyway,
like that's being
what it was.
kind, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Any other games you've been playing?
Nope, that's it.
Well, Ben, I know you said that you probably wouldn't get into another battle royale like that, but what are you getting into this week?
Oh, just Destiny. I'm always playing a little bit of Destiny.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mention that, but I did. I'll let Ben speak to this. I
Yeah.
did play with Ben yesterday. Tell our story, Ben.
Oh God. Oh my God.
God
Yeah. So
dang.
I've been playing a lot of Destiny because season 17 is coming out on Tuesday, and I'm just trying to like level up my season pass to level 100. Didn't play as much this season as I have the past couple seasons. And yeah, so we played Alfredo and Cole and I played little bit of the legendary Witch Queen campaign. We were playing the third campaign mission, and we just like jumped right into the final boss because that's where we left it last time we played, which was last time we played on like with Cole. So that's as far as he had gotten in the campaign. And then like that night Elden Ring came out, so we like dropped Witch Queen to jump into Elden Ring. And yeah, so we like just jumped right into this boss, and this boss is like notoriously hard, like one of the bosses that a lot of people get stuck on in the campaign, especially on legendary difficulty. So we tried to kill this guy. I don't know. We probably ran him close to 20 times, and it was like 2 hours, at least 2.5 hours, probably. You guys were up to like 2:30 or something like that on Thursday night.
I was up to like after 2:00, and I would say we were at a solid 2.5 hours, maybe 3. And we had already played this back when Elden Ring came out. We had already played this boss for an hour that night, an hour and a half.
Alfredo and I have both beat him solo, but they're like all the enemies are just like they're just very difficult when you've got a fire team of 3. So we didn't even beat him. 2.5 hours. We didn't beat him. We just gave up.
So we had to give up.
We got to come back to it.
That's the 4th one.
It's mission 3.
Mission 3.
Yeah.
Oof, Jesus.
We're playing legendary mode, and it feels like a raid or it feels like a raid to me every time we play it, because every single campaign mission is so like the boss is usually so hard and there's so much strategy, but it's so fun. Like I've had a ball playing that game Legendary. It's been incredible. Like I've had a great time, even though we were getting absolutely destroyed that night.
Yeah. We had to employ a lot more strategy and a lot more communication than you would otherwise with a legendary campaign, which is a really fun aspect of it.
Interesting. I'm planning on getting through Witch Queen, of course. Do y'all think this might have potential to make y'all games of the year at the end of the year?
Yeah.
I'm biased. I should have disclosed that I work at Bungie, as always. So, of course, it's my game of the year.
Smart.
Yeah, I'll say, it's going to be in the runnings, but so far Elden Ring is mine. But it's awesome. And honestly, I have more fun playing this than Elden Ring, I'd say, probably because I like the multiplayer. Whenever we have a good group playing multiplayer, I have a phenomenal time.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else besides Destiny, Ben?
No, pretty much that's been it for me this week.
Gotcha. Well, Clams, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing my Nintendron Switcheroo. I had an awakening the other day. It's been a couple months now since I've taken care of my body. I have.
Who was that?
That was me. I was trying to. Full disclosure, I was trying to get the article open for the next topic, and I definitely clicked on a YouTube video. So
a random man just spoke. And I was like,
I freaked out. I haven't taken care of my body in a while, and the other morning I slept on my arm weird, and I just had a panic attack. Like, I'm gonna have a heart attack. I wasn't really. I was just good wake up call. So I pulled out my Nintendo Switch to do some Ring Fit.
Yes, you did. Also, yes, you did.
It's right here. You can see it.
I got mine back there too. I don't feel like grabbing. Actually, wait. You can kind of see it if you like kind of look hard enough. I can see
it. There it is. There it is. It's good. It's good. I've been supplementing it by like going for a bike ride, coming back, pulling out the Switch Fit, pumping away. It's good. Since I'm fairly out of shape at this point. I haven't worked out in like 3-4 months. Like my body needed that little tiny kick. It just needed a little bit of a push to start getting back into like working order. And I think that was just enough. I think if I had gone to the gym and gone like hard, I probably would have died. But this thing is good little. It's a good pace. It's in the warm summer months, it definitely gets you sweating, and it's you can do it whenever. It's real easy. And the story mode is apparently 60 hours long. I didn't know that.
I stopped playing it. To me, like it almost felt like I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. So it incentivized me not to use it, So once I started doing the custom modes, that's when I really started getting invested into it.
Sure.
Where every day I feel like, all right, let me get at least 6 of these sets done,
Right.
And then I'll be energized and hit the gym. So
sure, yeah. I want to put some time into story mode, see where it goes, because it's cute. It's like, oh wow, they put a story mode that's actually, I mean, it's not deep, but it's engaging. It's engaging enough. That's an interesting gimmick for an exercise game.
Can kids play this game?
I think so. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's modes you can set. You could do it to like novice, casual, or hardcore. So if you want your kids to kind of not stress their bodies out, you can definitely just set it to an easier mode.
Like
Yeah.
a group setting? Could you play like me, my wife, and the kids, and just pass it around, or no?
It's more of an individual thing.
But I mean, like I've done it where I've passed it off with people, like
Yeah, you can
Oh,
do that.
yeah. And then you just like pass one. You can set up your own little exercises. So you can have like a playlist of exercises basically. So you can like choose an exercise for you, exercise for your wife, exercise for your kid, exercise for other kid, and then kind of loop through and kind of maybe change it up. You have to be a little creative with it, but you can definitely share this game.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for your family. Also, while we're on that, has anybody put any time into Wii Sports or Switch
No.
Sports?
I'm not buying it.
I was a sucker and I bought it, and it made me realize how good Ring Fit is. Because
Really?
Ring Fit is, I feel, very unique. It's a very unique. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a workout game that takes itself so seriously. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it feels like, I feel like you could really change your life playing this game. Like, if you really are like, haven't worked out for, let's say, like 2-3 years, like, it does a really good job like edging you into working out like slightly. And then if you really take it seriously, you could get like, even when you're in shape, I feel like you can get a really good workout from this thing.
Yeah.
So
Have
it
you
really
messed around at all with the VR workout stuff?
I haven't found anything that was super like compelling, but at the same time, a lot of that stuff is behind paywalls on Oculus.
Try
I've
boxing.
tried some
Boxing.
Sure.
Which one? Like the
boxing.
Creed one?
Yeah, that's the one I did, and I couldn't even breathe. I was laying on the floor.
I might have to try that. I heard that was good, but I'm glad to get a recommendation.
Beat Saber is pretty good for like mild
Beat
cardio.
Saber's good.
Beat Saber's great.
Absolutely.
I love Beat Saber.
And you got to get into it though. You have to like hit hard.
Yeah, you got to do
You
it.
can't just go like.
Right.
Do that again, Cole.
Wrist flick.
I like how tactile this is.
Absolutely.
I
That's
think,
cool. That's big. I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah, compared to it's it's weird because like when I was like actually working out and like I was using this, I felt like I was gonna break it. I'm like, pasted little white boy me is gonna break this, but like it's very strong. Like it's got a good little
it feels quality.
resistance
It feels
to it. It's
really quality. It's one of the best things Nintendo's ever made, in my opinion. Like, it is very quality. Also, have you used the offline mode?
Offline mode?
So when your Switch is off, if you put the Joy-Con like in the resistance band and you hold down like R3, it will turn on and you can just use it and it will record your reps. And then
I had no idea.
And when you come back, you can add them to your account.
That's crazy.
It's just this game legit. Like, I'm so mad when I bought it, I didn't really invest time into it because I think it had potential to win my game of the year when it came out.
You were very high on it when it came out, when you were playing it. I remember.
Yeah, I was, but I've never truly stuck with it because I mean, I like working out with people, and this isn't like the best thing to use when I'm working out with people. But since I've really started doing individual workouts a lot more, I think in retrospect, this probably be my game of the year 2019. Like, I think it would be. Like, I recommend it to anybody who has a Switch and is looking to. If you're looking to work out at home, I think this thing is perfect for it.
Yeah. It's good. And it's got some real the way they use it too in the game is not just like pushing in. Like they have a lot of weird little workouts with it. Like they designed this well. A lot of thought went into the game.
It's Nintendo at its best.
Nintendo's good at it.
Yeah, it's Nintendo at its best for sure. I don't know which Nintendo studio made it, but this game just screams Nintendo. Like, where it's like, I rank it among some of their best games to me.
If I remember correctly, like physical, like 2 physical therapists who were like into game dev pitched the idea.
Really?
So yeah,
That would
I
make
remember.
sense.
Yeah. I don't know.
Clams, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you been playing the Quest?
No, I
It's still in that same spot from last week.
still in that same spot. It's just sitting there. I keep wanting to pull it out, but I need to find. I have AA batteries somewhere for the hand things.
The
Wait,
controller.
you haven't played it at all yet?
Oh no, I've played it. I've mostly played the online browser games. Because I was like, I want to test it out. I want to get a feel for everything, and some of the browser games are pretty fun.
There's tons of free games, like demos and stuff on there. Space Pirate Trainer, Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
I didn't download Beat Saber yet.
Yeah,
but
that's a demo.
Demo. Right, I forgot.
I still want to try watching a movie. We should all do a movie night.
This week,
Kill Bill.
This week we're watching.
There you go.
Kill. Oh my god! Like that would be perfect. That would be perfect. I probably could recite that movie.
I don't know how to like. That's the thing is I don't know how to set it up with that sort of stuff. I haven't looked into it yet. So
we got you.
Okay. Okay.
We got you. We got you in our arms. We got
Ben,
you.
you got to get one. You got to jump on the team.
We got. Come on, Ben. It's peer pressure time. We got it. We got to get you on it, man.
Have you tried it yet, Ben? Have you tried the Quest?
Well, I devved on the Quest for a while, so I've messed around with it. But I played the original Quest. I didn't play that. I haven't messed around with the Quest too. I like the Quest. It's a great device, and there's lots of great VR games that I've been missing right now. But like, I know that I'm only going to get one VR. I already have a PSVR sitting around that I hardly ever use. I want to get the PSVR 2. So I don't want another VR.
It's getting delayed.
Well,
it's delay season.
It might. The PSVR 2 might not come out until next year. Even still, I know I want that one, and I don't want 3 headsets in my house.
Look, you got a perfect room.
You could easily resell it. You could easily if you got this, and then when
so you're saying
PSVR
it should be a stopgap.
For sure.
Buy it until the PSVR 2, and then I sell this and get the PSVR 2.
Yeah, I think so. Because I'm truth be told doubting that we're gonna see PlayStation VR 2 before like next summer.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea, Clams. I never think about like selling things, reselling things.
I sold mine too. I sold mine about maybe 2 years ago, and I got it. I literally made my money back.
Your original Quest?
No. The PlayStation VR.
Oh, your PSVR. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now I will say,
God, it's so worth it.
Blast of nostalgia, because I am very impressed by this. This amazes me. Just how like casual it is, because a YouTuber by the name of Cicero made a short like documentary about Google Cardboard, and back when I worked for Fox for a bit, and one year for Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, they sent out Google Cardboards branded with Simpsons stuff, and I plugged it in. I remember like going, "Oh, neat, horrible but neat." But that was I didn't know how much Google put into that Google Cardboard and Google the fabric one that they put on their face. How much effort
they've been
they put
really
into
invested in that stuff.
I did not know that they like had like big conferences and meetings about that shit. And then Quest starts or Oculus starts putting out some really, really good tech demos that just blow all of those phone strap-on head cases out of the water, because this is so much better than that. This is so much. It's pretty cool that this is now it. Like back then, that was like 2014. It doesn't seem like that long ago, but this was the future I was thinking of. And I'm like, that could be a ways off, but here it is. It's right there, sitting on my dusty nightstand.
Clams, you should seriously try Alt Space. And it's a free app.
I've tried VR chat.
That's great. VR chat's great too.
But it's still it's a lot more clunky than Alt Space.
And the
VR chat, you can still use like the copyrighted characters, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, guess who I am.
Oh.
Guess because I went looking for costume rooms as soon as I learned that there were costume rooms in the game. I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? And I went digging. I went jumping around portals in and out. And I'm like, I got to a world called Anime USA, and there it was like they had like cartoons from Cartoon Network and cartoons from like Nickelodeon, and they had a really like morbidly obese Teen Titans. So you could get into like Cyborg or Starfire's body, but you're so fat. And whoever rigged these costumes didn't do a good job, because as soon as you like try to squat down, your whole body like folds in on itself. It's so I love it. It's such a good. That was great.
Before we go to our first topic, when I was on YouTube, I used to watch like VR chat like clips, and it was this guy. He was Winnie the Pooh, and he was talking about his worst days as a soldier.
Oh yeah.
It's like this is so. He's talking about like feeling guilt about killing people, and he's Winnie the Pooh. Like this, I'm feeling like a whole like I don't know how to feel right now.
I love the future. I'm Duke nostalgia, but the future is gonna be fucking stupid, and I can't wait.
Well, speaking of the future, we have a list of the future games we are going to expect from the new PlayStation Plus that was announced March. That sound about right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So it was announced March. We saw what the tiers are going to be. You're going to have Essential, Extra, and I think Essential is what we like, just going what we have now and just upgrading it. Extra is the tier after that, and then there's one more tier,
Premium.
right? Put premium. Thank you. So we have those three.
I think Essential is like basically exactly the same as what PS Plus is right now.
You get the games monthly that you normally would with the tier you have right now. So So Extra is gonna have good amount of games, and then you get 400 games on top of that with premium. And we have a list of games. And I have to say, I am shocked by the quality that we're getting with these games. Like I was not expecting us to get like this amount of games and this quality of games. Have y'all looked at the list? I can kind of name some of the games that are confirmed, but have y'all seen the list so far?
No.
Yeah.
So you're getting most of the essentials, at least from the PlayStation 4 generation. You're getting most of the big essentials. The only ones that seem to be missing are Last of Us Part 2.
Sure.
I think that's it, really, right? Like Last of Us Part 2, and then because you have like Miles Morales, you have Returnal, you have Days Gone, you have Horizon. You don't have Horizon Forbidden West, obviously, but you have the original Horizon. You're getting the Uncharted collection. You're getting the original Last of Us. Like there is a lot here. You're getting, I feel a bit of a letdown in terms of PlayStation 1 games and PSP games. I felt like that could be better. PlayStation 3 obviously is not you can't download those games, so you're gonna be streaming those. So that's one disappointing aspect.
Yep.
No Metal Gear Solid 4, which I know a lot of people are disappointed in, but sucks for those people, I guess. And PlayStation 5 games, you're gonna probably expect to not see those on the service for a bit. We are getting Returnal though. So what are y'all thoughts? Is this
There's
something
actually
that's
quite a few PS5 games?
Yeah, it's
right now.
It's interesting that they are really like trying. Like I feel like they didn't want to hype it up too much when it was first announced in March. Like I could tell like the reception to it was very like trepidatious because we didn't see the games. Now that we know the games, do we think that this could realistically be a Game Pass competitor?
Oh yeah. Whoa, $100 a year, and I can play these games.
Yeah.
I mean, Death Stranding. I mean, you got What?
And the
This
thing is,
looks
you
like-
can't even buy a yearly subscription to Game Pass. I don't think. I'm
Wait a
pretty sure
second. Is it $100 a year?
I don't
It's
think it's
100.
100.
It's
It's
120.
120.
Yeah.
But
still.
do you have to
Yeah.
pay
Oh,
for
sorry,
PS Plus
yeah.
on top of that? Like, so
No.
what's the price of PS Plus in that?
It's all
this-
one thing.
Yeah. So PS Plus Essential is 60, same as it 60 a year if you pay in yearly installments, as it has been. And then I don't remember what extra is. It's somewhere in between there. It's like 80 or 90, and then premium is 120. So it's basically double your
So it's-
yearly PS Plus subscription.
It's basically $10 a month.
Yes.
It's a great deal.
Yeah, this is really good.
It is.
I want a PS5 now, like 100%.
Well, if you have a PS4, this is
Yeah.
still really good.
Most of the value is there if you have a PS4. In fact, there's only like 3 games on this list that you can't play on PS4.
On PS4. Yeah.
So it's still a good deal in that case.
Oh yeah.
Do we know, are they releasing more games every month or no?
Yes,
I would imagine
they
so,
said
yeah.
they specifically said that the essential games, obviously, so the essential tier is what PS Plus is right now. Those are like the games that you can claim and then download whenever. Those will be refreshed at the beginning of every month, as they have been, and then halfway through the month, the extra and essential catalogs will be refreshed. So, like every 2 weeks, there will be some sort of refresh where there's new games, which seems like a good cadence to kind of keep these things on people's minds all the time.
Right.
So yeah, you can expect some of these games to go, some more games to come. That kind of rotating catalog,
But-
like we expect from subscription services.
Yeah, but if this is a like baseline, this is what they're starting with. I can only expect good things.
So it should be
Yeah.
it should be noted too that this is about 100 games confirmed of the 700 that we know will launch with the service.
That's
However,
insane.
Yeah, however, I will caveat that I guarantee you the vast majority of that 700 games are going to be the same games that are currently on PlayStation now, most of which are not worth a damn. And
Sure.
most of which you're probably never going to play. And if you don't like
Right.
PS3 cloud streaming, then say goodbye to 300 of the games that are going to be on the service.
But still, you can
still
just-
if we compare it to Game Pass, right? Game Pass has like less than 200 games.
yeah.
Yeah.
This
You know
is-
what's interesting to me is, or what's cool, or something to think about. I don't know if it's cool, but so if Game Pass becomes like this is, I feel like Game Pass still is the leader in this category just because of, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's just got more of a traction than this does for whatever reason.
And
Maybe
they
their
get
marketing's
they
better.
get day one
Yeah.
exclusives that the service is probably never going to have.
But that's what I'm saying. This is kind of my point is like if this is where it goes 5 years from now, where you either have a Game Pass or a PlayStation Plus, if they want to compete with that, they can. With the flip of a switch, they can start doing that. And then at that moment, it becomes better than Game Pass for sure. If they put their day one games on there.
Oh yeah.
They're never going to do
Well-
that though.
But they,
I just don't see it.
What if Xbox started trending to becoming the Netflix of gaming, and they start putting in all these devices? Then all they got to do is add in their day one games, and it's game over for Xbox.
To me, it's like between like the Netflix of gaming and like the HBO Max. Like, I feel like this could be a very compelling service. I feel like in terms of the quality of games, I feel like this service is going to have more quality games.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to ever get Horizon 3 on here day one. I don't think you're ever going to get Last of Us Part 3 on here day one. I just don't see Sony doing that because they just function differently than Microsoft does. Like Microsoft doesn't mind taking that L. I think Sony will always mind taking that L.
How many day one Xbox published games have released on Game Pass?
I would probably assume like 6, maybe. Like that's a safe number. I know Horizon did. Forza
Right.
Horizon,
Halo
Infinite,
Psychonauts.
Psychonauts,
Crackdown.
The thing is, I wouldn't even count Psychonauts because Psychonauts was on PlayStation, so it wasn't exclusive.
But it was Xbox produced and
oh, if you want to go that list, unless Nobody Saves the World, like they've had a lot of
no, that's third party. I'm saying like first party games that Xbox themselves made, right? Because we have to discount those when we're thinking about PS Plus. So I'm trying to think of like what is the actual delta here, right? Because there can still be third party and second party, well, probably just third party day and date releases on PS Plus.
Right.
There, in fact, we should expect that there will be some.
I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't talking. Yeah, I'm sorry, and I wasn't talking about second or third party. I'm only talking about first party. I don't think that Sony will ever release a first party game on here day one.
That's what I'm saying. We've got like Halo, Forza, Psychonauts. You say Crackdown, Cole. I can hardly think of any more. So it's like 4 games so far that we've had. Flight Simulator.
And
date release.
But let's be honest. Xbox, when they announced that they were going to do this, didn't have that many games in the pipeline at that point. It was. I remember when they announced that they were going to release all their exclusives.
Right.
Like their cupboard was bare. There was really nothing. And then recently they've gotten on a roll of releasing these games day one, and we know that the games that are coming are going to be day one, like Starfield. Redfall, we know these games are going to be, you expect them to not be, you're not going to pay for those games. They're all going to be on Game Pass. You know, it's just a different mindset. But I do think you're saying second or third parties might take advantage of doing it day one. Kind of like Back for Blood, how they released on Game Pass.
And Nobody Saves the World, like stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. I absolutely can see that. That's where this is going to be a very valuable service. I agree with you.
Y'all know what's crazy is like, you could have if you have an Xbox and you have a PlayStation, for $20 a month, you get so much content.
You do.
Like, I mean, and hardcore gamers spend a lot of money on games. Like, I used to buy a lot more games when I was gaming more. Like before I had a family, I would buy. I bought a game a month. I'd say on average $60 a month. Back in the day, 10 years ago.
The other thing is, I don't know. Compared to other forms of media, like buying a game physical just doesn't feel substantial to me anymore. It doesn't feel the same.
Good
like
Lord.
It doesn't feel like when you buy like I just bought that Akira box set. Like I could have just downloaded that, that EPUB file and just had it on my iPad, but no, like there's some tangible like feelings.
The Duke of Nostalgia has a bone to pick with you on this.
What's going on?
So wait, hold on. You were changing your tune for a second. Were you saying you don't like buying physical media?
I do, except games.
Okay.
Except games. Except games.
What games?
Not even older games. I do still think there's a value in buying older game media, but now that I know that I buy this game literally to just basically like download a file, it's not actually on the disc. Like it's just you're unlocking the right to play the game.
Right.
That's all it is. Like there's
I'll be honest, like monetarily, as someone who used to collect games for money reasons, specifically classic games, new games depreciate. That's all they do. They never gain value. Nintendo games weirdly always stay the same price. Some of them drop off.
But you know why Nintendo's different? Because Nintendo, and I don't know if it's like not all their games, but for the most part, all their games, like you still have to load off the cartridge.
Right.
They're still tangible. Like you're not just downloading the game. Like when I put like
that's not why the value doesn't depreciate though.
I understand. I understand that, but I'm saying like just for me,
why you buy it?
For me personally, when I put that disc in and it's downloading for 15 minutes, I'm like, why did I even do this? Like, what was the purpose of me buying this physically? Like maybe a sale. That's it. Like with other physical media, like when I buy like a physical disc, a 4K disc, it's tangibly better than streaming. It's going to have like director's commentary on it. It's going to have I can pick scenes individually. Like there's a tangible reason to buy like 4K.
The tangible reason is smelling the instruction manual.
There's no instruction manual
anymore. They don't have this anymore.
I know. That used to be the reason though.
Do you know what the first game I realized I didn't like buying physical games anymore was?
What?
And this is going to be a weird game because I remember it. I'm sure you all do too, but it's forgotten. Do you remember Evolve?
Yeah.
Oh,
asymmetrical
damn, yeah.
multiplayer game.
I played that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
I
I'm really
I
mad you brought that up because I tried to purge that from my memory. Oh my god.
I know. I bought Evolve because I thought it looked cool at E3,
It did
and
look cool.
then it looked cool. I played it, sucked. I went to return it. I got like $10 for the return. I spent 60 goddamn dollars. It was like 2 days later.
Ugh.
It depreciated, and I was like, yeah. I kind of agree with you. The more I
And
was
it's
gonna
games
I
are the
was gonna
only
fight
media
back,
it's really
but
happened to. That's the crazy thing to me. Like games are the only thing I can really see that this happened to. Because movies, you can maybe say that with movies, but still, there's like a tangible benefit to buying a 4K copy over just streaming.
absolutely.
know?
That was gonna be my argument. It was like, oh, I want to buy movies because there's like always I'll go, oh, it's on streaming, and then it won't be 3 years later. And
Exactly. And
if I
like
have it on disc,
hell, I have vinyls, like I love my
Mhm.
vinyls, even though I can just go to Spotify and play an album. Like, no, I want to play it off my vinyl player. But
Yeah.
like when it comes to gaming, it's like I'm not trying to.
To me,
And so
though,
that's a weird thing with this streaming list. It's like it's dope, you know what I'm saying? It's really dope to have these games, and I don't feel the need to like get the physical versions of them, you know?
there are some games though I do want physical versions too. Like my favorite games. Like I wouldn't want a downloaded version of Metal Gear Solid 5. I want
Yeah,
the
me too.
physical version of it.
Yeah, I
If you
feel that.
if you were to steelbook Metal Gear Solid 5, I'd probably buy that.
I feel that.
But like let's say I wanted to go and play Outer Worlds or something. I'll just download it. I don't care. Super Mario Odyssey. I want a physical copy, but Kirby, I don't really care. You know?
Hey, the physical, to me, the best thing about the physical copies is like I only buy physical copies of Rockstar games. So the last one I got was RDR2. And it was because of the social interaction, going there and getting it at the nighttime release and then taking it in your car and taking it home. Like to me, that's
Damn, I miss
awesome.
that. I miss
I
that
know.
big
Don't we
time.
miss the social interaction and stuff? Like waiting in line for
do.
movies at midnight and like,
Yeah.
God, it's just
I
sucks.
I remember
Yeah.
going to Barnes and Noble as a kid waiting for Harry Potter to drop.
Me
Like,
too.
yeah.
Me too.
Like,
That's
all
a great.
that
I
was
forgot
so
about that memory.
cool, especially because that's the only time you're with people that are so passionate about things that
you like
you're,
too.
yeah, in person, besides a message board.
Right. And that
I
sucks.
will say, sorry, steering it back to PS Plus, something that I've been thinking about just for me personally, and I'm sure you guys are to some degree in the same boat, since I have been buying so many of these games over the years, I have been keeping up with what's relevant on PlayStation. The majority of this back catalog is like, oh yeah, I own it. I own it.
Yeah, me too.
That's
I,
why
I
I
still
was
haven't
looking at
gotten
that
around
too.
to it.
God,
like,
it makes you jealous of the people that can come in and never
right.
play
and
these games
and just pay $10
Yeah.
a month
God,
to
they have
get
this
all this
catalog?
stuff. Yeah,
Oh my
totally.
God.
Like
Well, remember
I
a
was-
lot of the. Oh, go ahead, Clams.
and I was looking at this list, and like the first game that popped out to me, like, oh, I want to play that again, is Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. And I'm like, oh shoot, I have that. So I hesitated saying anything because I'm like, I really want to play that, but I don't need this for that. Same with Red Dead Redemption 2, Knack, obviously.
Obviously, Knack.
It's so weird though. Like I think about my kids when they get older, and they're just gonna have access to everything. Like, because if I have 2 subscriptions, a Game Pass and this for $20 a month, they can play any game at their disposal. I'm almost wonder if it's even good for them to be able to do that. Like, I feel like
I mean,
it's
the
almost
same
like going through TikTok. Like you lose interest so fast, you're switching games left and right and popping here and popping there.
Yeah.
Here's like how, and I don't know if it's good or bad because we all know how Netflix is doing in the stock market. They're suffering, but the way Netflix and Hulu and HBO Max are doing weekly releases of movies or TV shows, I think is good because it gives you that social interaction. You can go to the water cooler and say, hey, did you see the new episode of whatever? Midnight Mass. And if you are playing a game that not everyone else is playing, like when I was a kid and everyone was playing like Pokemon or Smash or something or Halo, like that's what you were talking about at school because it released recently.
Mhm.
If you're playing up, if you have the entire universe of games, like as much as that, as cool as it is, I think that kind of ruins some of that culture, which is a shame. But that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, it just becomes what talking about. Well, I mean, like you're right to some degree about the services that like release things week by week. There's a community around like, oh, the next episode of WandaVision or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But then there's also the thing that I encounter all the time about, have you seen any good movies lately? Oh yeah, I watched XYZ on Netflix. Oh, cool. Have you seen it? No, I haven't. Oh, okay, I won't spoil it. End of a discussion. Like,
Yeah.
oh, go check it out on Netflix. It's
Yeah.
gonna be the same thing where it's like, oh yeah, it's on Game Pass. Go play it. Sure. And then I add it to my Game Pass list, and then I promptly forget about it. And
Never
maybe
play it.
in 3
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, see that sucks. Like back in the day when then something would come out, it was video games are still like that to for the most part. Zeitgeist of Elden Ring is all you see on the internet for like
Right.
2 or 3 weeks. So we still do have that a little bit, but like speaking to TV and movies, American Idol used to be the thing everybody talk about the next Monday or
Right,
the last episode of The Walking Dead, and it's sad that we're losing that. I hate that, but
I don't think we're losing that because there's
no
still
one
releasing
watches
stuff
TV
weekly.
like you.
No,
like
but
think
these
about
streaming services, like except for Netflix, these streaming services do release stuff weekly still.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like the
coming
last
back.
time
Netflix, I think, is the only one who doesn't.
They do.
but
They do.
the last time you
Netflix
had a
is-
whole
yeah.
the last time we had everybody talking about like the zeitgeist in movies, I feel like was either the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead, every season of the Game of Thrones, and then like when Netflix would release like Making a Murder or some new documentary or something. But I feel like it's like
Well, you have
it's
not
dwindled.
you have not been keeping up with this Halo series, then.
Oh God.
No, I haven't.
I have been a poor watcher of this show, and you want to talk
Wait,
about a water cooler show?
Wait. That implies you're subscribed to a CBS All Access or whatever it's
No.
called.
Plus.
So I want to shout out Microsoft right now because as a Game Pass subscriber, there is a little service called Perks. And when you go into the Perks section, you get free subscriptions to things. I became a Discord Nitro member off of Game Pass.
That's
you know?
That's
And
awesome.
I got 2 months of Paramount Plus. Because I feel Microsoft knew this show was trash. They're like, we need to get as many people to watch this show as possible by any means. So no, I have not paid a dime for Paramount
Okay,
Plus.
good.
Not paid a dime. I watched a little bit of Invader Zim on there. I watched a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit
they've
of the
got
original.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, the original Sonic show, a couple episodes of SpongeBob here or there. But this Halo show, my God. I wouldn't say it's bad. And I want to shout out Matt Bliss in the chat. Pablo Schreiber did a really good job as Master Chief. Like he did the best he could with the material there. But my God, it was a water cooler moment in a bad way. So Cole, I feel like for Netflix shows, you're right. But for all the other subscription shows, they all release weekly.
Yeah.
Like all the shows I follow, like WandaVision, MCU shows.
Well, Disney
Obi-Wan.
started doing it hardcore. Disney did it hardcore, and like everyone else went, "Oh, we got to do this too." This is the way.
Well, HBO's always done it that way. So when they release
Yeah.
and I truthfully feel HBO Max is the best streaming. So it's like they've been doing it, and they have the highest quality of shows. Disney Plus has been doing it. Paramount Plus has been doing it. So it's telling that Netflix is the one kind of lagging behind right now, even though they're still number one. But they're on a downward trend, and they're just releasing shows. And when they come out, people talk about it for a day, and it's over. You know,
I'll be honest. I've gone on Netflix a couple times, and I've always gone off of it. Like I'm really close to being one of those people that just drops the subscription because I'm like, you're right. HBO. 4 or 5 years ago, if you told me HBO would be so good, I would have been like, but Netflix is great. And nope.
HBO's killing it. Shouts out, we own the city. But besides that, and I Alfredo, he always says something that I'm just like, man, he's talking about this iCarly remake. Oh my God. My God.
Alfredo, Alfredo, there's a reason most of the actors didn't come back to do that. It's because
I feel like only one didn't come back, right?
Sam and the fat kid.
I'm not up my
Who-
iCarly lore.
Neither am I.
That is.
The chubby guy who was on. Oh,
Gibby.
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 He didn't.
He didn't
Neither
come
of them
back.
came back. No, because both of them were horribly mistreated by producers. It's heavily implied that Sam was the actress who plays Sam was sexualized by one of the main producers. She's got back when Vine was the thing. She had a Vine channel that was like just her like repeating Dan Schneider's name over and over, and it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty funny. She'd just be like, I see you, Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider, I see you. I see. And she'd like get progressively more and more crazy looking. And she's like, you know what you did. You know what you did. And I'm like,
Well,
okay,
I hope
she gets it. She gets the joke, but like she's also clearly been traumatized.
Yeah, I hope she's okay. I hope she's okay. I liked her in the show. I haven't seen her in anything since the show, but
She quit acting. She quit
Oh.
100 full, and good for her. That's awesome that a child actor just goes, I'm out of this world. It's bad for me.
I just remember she did the show. She's dated an NBA player, and I never heard from her again. So
Yeah.
hopefully she's
Yep.
doing well.
I really liked her on Eric Andre when she went on the Eric Andre show. And he just like creeped on.
Shouts out Eric Andre.
That was the only time I'd seen her since. Beautiful moment.
Now, a game that's on this list is Death Stranding and Death Stranding Director's Cut, which I'm impressed that they put the Director's Cut on. They did that for Ghost of Tsushima as well. So I'm very impressed by that. But we also got news this week from Mr. Walking Dead himself, Norman Reedus, which I can't call him a good actor, but he's really good at playing the characters that he plays. So, there's that. He announced that Death Stranding 2 is apparently coming. I know, Ben, you platinum Death Stranding. How do you feel? How do you feel about this announcement or this quasi announcement?
Well, for one, I'm stoked that the director's cut is going to be on PS Plus, because I was just thinking about downloading it and jumping back in a little bit. So I'm glad I don't have to spend that $10 for the upgrade. For Death Stranding 2, I got to be honest, I don't want another Death Stranding. I would prefer Kojima to do something else, something new,
with the same engine. I mean, that's what he's good at, making engines and then like working in those boundaries.
Well, this was Decima engine, right?
Yeah.
This was Decima engine. So he's making. I don't understand when this game is even like going to be a thing, because he's making the Microsoft game.
Is he?
Well, no, there's no announcement there. There's
no announcement, but
there were rumors, but we don't know. We don't know where they got.
I assume that's not nothing. Like, I've heard so much about it for
they were probably talking, but that doesn't mean that there was actually a deal.
So you think Death Stranding 2 is his next game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What was that game? What was that game a year ago that like everyone thought he was directing?
The Silent Hill game.
Yeah. You're talking about Abandoned.
Abandoned, yeah.
Abandoned, yeah.
That's like a whole that's a whole topic in and of itself. That the timeline for that game is fucking crazy. But yeah, he's not directing that.
So we think.
So we think. That's what we've been led to believe.
That game's gonna be a dumpster fire when it comes out, if it ever comes out.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the same boat as you though, Ben. Like, Death Stranding is neat. I didn't like Death Stranding, but Kojima's an amazing, like once in a lifetime game director, and he needs to he can do so many things. He's got the creative mindset. It would be kind of a shame for him to do this like the same thing again, because Metal Gear, unless it's in the same vein as Metal Gear, where each game is just completely different mechanically. Just brand new ideas, brand new characters, brand new, no continuity, just whatever we want to do, we do. Unless he does that, which completely on the table for Kojima, because he's a crazy guy. But I'd like him to try some new things. I'd like him to come back to Metal Gear. I'd like him to do a Metal Gear game, finish that game series off. But
will
That's
never
not
happen.
happening.
Yeah.
It's funny because like you don't really like Death Stranding and I don't really like Death Stranding and we both don't. Oh, I mean, I really like Death Stranding and we both don't want Death Stranding too.
No, not at all.
To me, it's like Kojima was caught in the sequel trap with Metal Gear for decades, and he kept saying, "This is my last Metal Gear. This is my last Metal Gear. This is my last Metal Gear." And then he finally put out his last Metal Gear, and it was probably only his last Metal Gear because his hand was forced. And
Right.
he couldn't fall into another Metal Gear. And then what did we get after that? We got something really interesting and thought-provoking and awesome and unique in Death Stranding. So I want to see what he does outside of that. You know, I want to see what he does next. I want him to flex. And
you're missing his you're missing his most unique project. Like no PT. Well, yeah, Silent Hill PT.
Yeah.
Like I want him to do that.
Yeah,
he could do
maybe not PT like exactly,
but a horror game.
Yes.
Again,
either that or do a movie. I want to either that or just do a movie.
No, I don't want a movie.
I want to see a Kojima movie.
I don't want to see. Everyone says that. I don't, and the reason for that is because video games are a very special medium. They are a way for you to experience movie-like things. Kojima, unlike a lot of game directors, is hugely influenced by movies. He loves movies, and so he takes those elements and then uses video game mechanics to emphasize those movie tropes and elements and makes them a wholly unique experience that you won't get anywhere else. And I adore that. I think, Ben, you're right. He should practice new things, flex those muscles, do something really out there and really creative, because you've done it like a couple times before, but you could do it again. Like he could make a great horror game. He could make a great movie inspired horror game. He could make another great action game like Metal Gear. He could make a comedy for all I care. You know, he's got the creative brain that is needed to make fun video games. So
I think I would like to see him make a Bandersnatch type movie. Maybe not a movie theater movie, but like a unique experience like that.
You mean like one of those VHS games?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of realm in that area for him. I feel like that would honestly be perfect for how he tells stories.
Why not? He's already casting Norman Reedus and what's his face, the guy who apparently wrote stuff for Elden Ring.
George R. R. Martin.
Oh,
George.
You're thinking of Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Oh shit! They're both big, hairy.
I've never made that correlation until just now.
They look exactly the same.
Guillermo del Toro definitely looks better than George R. R. Martin. Sure. But I have a lot of vitriol for George R. R. Martin because I'm never gonna get my book. So
no. I mean, if he's already casting big names in Hollywood, why not just make a movie, a video game storybook movie? I still think that's a waste of potential. I think for him because he does mechanics good. Like
I totally agree.
Yeah,
that's
Alfredo's was me. He wants an Until Dawn experience.
That's always been Kojima's strong suit, is that he's been able to marry that. That was the groundbreaking thing about the original Metal Gear Solid, was that it was able to marry that film style of storytelling with a game, a gamey game.
Yeah.
And that's always kind of been Kojima's bread and butter. And I personally like when he gets even more systems heavy and even more gamey, and has to marry the story elements to something that is much more systemic, like Metal Gear Solid 5 or Death Stranding. Kojima is one of those creators where I feel like, to Clams' earlier point, we could be getting a Death Stranding 2 that is very little like Death Stranding. And
could be Metal Gear Solid 2-esque.
Well, I could be even
in terms of like how mindfuck it is, that's what I mean.
He's not someone to be predicted. He's not a predictable guy. So could be awesome.
Cole, are you looking forward to Death Stranding 2 in any way?
No. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this one, Ben said he likes it, but he doesn't want to see it. And Clams doesn't like it, but he don't want to see it. And I'm just indifferent. And I don't want Death Stranding 2. So, like,
I don't want it. I don't think I feel like it's safe to say none of us want Death Stranding 2.
I mean, I am interested to see what it is. And I think it's going to be more like Ben. I don't think it's going to be more the same. I think, like Ben said, it's going to be something, it could be something completely different. Like, you know, I don't know. It could be this prequel or something crazy, or like, or something's happened. It's a whole different mechanic. Maybe you're not even doing the same thing. You're not a delivery man. I want to play it though. If I'm going to play it, should I play? I've only played like 2 or 3 hours. The director's cut on PS5, is that just the way to play it?
Yeah, there's probably no way you could play Death Stranding 2 without playing Death Stranding 1.
Yeah, I feel like this is a book club game, right? Didn't we talk about this before?
Damn, yeah.
I'm gonna
That's a
struggle to,
time investment though.
It is. It's a long game. It's a long game.
I had the director's cut already. I've said I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat it this year. I promise. I've been meaning to get back in. I tried it with the widescreen mode, and it just looks fucking beautiful. Like, that game looks incredible on PlayStation 5. So I think if you're a Kojima fan, you owe it to yourself to at least try Death Stranding, because to me, it's his most unique game. Not his best, but his most unique in my opinion.
From what I played, it felt like a PS5 game. It felt next generation. Because it was just such a different game than I'd ever played before. And the graphics were incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And Alfredo asked in the chat, is the director's cut worth waiting for, or should I just play the regular version?
Well, you're only looking at, I mean, if you have PS Plus Premium, you're only looking at waiting like 3 weeks at this point.
Yeah, don't buy it. Yeah, don't buy it yet. Like, you definitely just wait.
Wait, you can't get the director's cut right now on PS5?
No, you can buy it for $10 if you want, but if you've got the subscription, you're only going to wait for 3 weeks until it's available there.
Yeah, it's going to be included. So this makes more sense.
Yeah, play it there.
So yeah, I that's, oh my God, Alfredo. But besides that, I think we're all looking forward overall to this PlayStation Plus list. Death Stranding 2
2 things I wanted to shout out that were kind of weird.
Shouts out.
One, Siphon Filter getting a little re-release, and it has trophies. It has a platinum.
Are they preparing us for the next Siphon Filter?
This is classified as a PS1 classic game on the service, and it's got trophies. So there's something's going on there. It's not a remaster necessarily, but they did say that some of the PS1 games would have enhancements, especially when it comes to UI, and you'd have things like saving anytime and rewinding, the features that you have on like Nintendo Switch classic games. The other thing is that there's a bunch of remasters that are classified as like the back catalog games, so they're only available on premium. They're not available on extra, but they're PS4 releases, like Ape Escape 2 and all the Jack and Daxter games that are remastered versions of the PS2 games, BioShock the collection, Borderlands Handsome collection, these are PS3 games obviously that were remastered for PS4, but those are also, it seems, only going to be available on premium, even though they're PS4 versions of the games. That's just some kind of random stuff that poked out to me that are like kind of weird quirks about this service. All in all, it looks pretty strong, but I'm still not convinced that even with 700 games, it's going to stay fresh. And I think the biggest hurdle that they need to clear here, and Xbox needs to clear this too, curation. Tell me what is worth playing. Allow me to find diamonds in the rough. Things that work well on the service. If there's 300 PS3 games that you can stream, which ones are worth streaming? Which ones are too twitchy to be worth doing? You know?
Yeah.
Like, give me some way to like sort through this stuff, or have comments or ratings, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because 700 games is too much for me to just like sift through. And right now, PS Now's organization is abysmal. Totally abysmal.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that, just to address that, I think one thing that Game Pass does that I think this service needs to do is they do a good job of announcing when their games get upgrades, when they get Series X, Series S upgrades, that they highlight those very clearly. One, PlayStation needs to start doing that. One. And two, when they do it, they need to highlight the games that are being updated for PlayStation 5, whether it's frame rate, whether you're having a higher resolution. That's something that Xbox has really prided themselves on since the new consoles have come out. PlayStation has done it at a lesser pace. I'd hope with this service, some of these games get upgrade in some capacity. I'm praying at some point that Bloodborne is. I feel like Bloodborne would be the perfect game to usher that in with.
I thought they were going to announce a 60 FPS patch alongside Bloodborne being in this collection, but of course not.
I think it was the perfect time to do it because I feel like that's going to probably come, but I feel like they need to do that for a lot of their games because a lot of the games, like whether it's on PlayStation 4 or Xbox, like the Xbox experience is just better because it runs at a higher frame rate. Like all the Assassin's Creed games are running at 60 on Xbox, while on the ones on PlayStation they're still locked at 30.
Well, not that it makes Assassin's Creed games any better.
To you and most people, but there's some fans. There's some fans, but just Assassin's Creed is one example, like there's a whole bunch of games that and especially their first party games, I feel like they should pay a little more attention to that because that's one thing that makes Game Pass really compelling. You're playing these games in the best way possible. And so besides that though, I think this is a really strong opening list of games. Any final thoughts on PlayStation Plus collection? Crickets? Sounds good. Now, I thought that was a soundboard effect too. That's pretty good. That's pretty.
I've been doing that. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, thank
you. You know what's not good though? All these studios getting bought. I feel like every day I turn around, you're getting bought. You're getting bought. You're getting bought. I'm losing my mind. Because now I'm seeing EA. I'm walking, taking a short walk. I open up my phone. I see EA is potentially on the verge of being bought. We got this from Kotaku. They were in talks last month to be acquired by NBC Universal, which is Comcast, essentially.
Yeah.
They couldn't agree to a number to sell at, so the deal fell through. But if you're looking for a buyer, you probably don't just stop. So I assume that we might be hearing something about this sooner rather than later. What are y'all thoughts on another big publisher getting potentially bought?
I can tell you this from being inside NBC, and I don't know if I'm breaking an NDA. I don't care.
Caution to the wind, throw it.
NBC is trying to get into esports. They see a huge money market there. We've received multiple packets of how to sell people on getting their things advertised in esport competitions. They want to maybe start airing it if NBC on like Peacock. They want to kind of start going towards a sort of they understand there's a large group of people that enjoys esports for whatever reason. I'm not one of them, but if they grabbed EA, it would give them if Comcast or NBC grabbed EA, it would give them something to kind of play with.
You get some of the sports games. I know people play esports with those, but
yeah.
I mean, it's
not that. Yeah.
If you're trying to get into esports, I feel like EA is not the publisher.
You think they're getting confused because EA Sports, esports, so they just
well, no. I mean,
I wouldn't put it past some executive.
No.
Hey, y'all, this is called EA Sports, esports. It must be good.
50% of these advertising packets we've been getting are like how to explain to clients what League of Legends is. It's like, oh my god, it's I mean, yes, for like salespeople who've been ingrained in like TV culture for years and have only recently started getting into like internet advertising, like to all of a sudden go, well, now you can advertise while people are playing. Uh, 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 I guess. Do they even still do esports for Blizzard games?
Overwatch,
I
yeah.
think Overwatch, yeah.
Do they still
Overwatch
do it?
League. Yep.
Okay.
Overwatch probably
Um,
one of the biggest esports, I assume, right?
Still?
I think Hearthstone
Still?
is pretty big too.
Yeah, that's big too.
Okay.
That's EA,
I know.
right?
No,
What's
Hearthstone is Blizzard.
Blizzard, I'm sorry. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
meant.
yeah. They're all Blizzard. They're all Blizzard. I know Magic the Gathering tried doing esports, but I don't think that panned out for them. But
Obviously, Call of Duty is pretty big. I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's pretty big esports wise.
did
Counter
you
Strike, of
guys
course.
did any of you guys talk about the Overwatch 2 demo?
No.
I think I mentioned it, but it wasn't. I mean, that did not go over well.
Yeah, no, it went over horribly.
I mean, it raised the question: why would you do an Overwatch 2? I don't think we ever asked that, but it's a very fair question. Like, I don't think those are games that need sequels.
Unless you make them better, significantly better.
I mean, truth be told, I'm not the biggest fan of Overwatch. I feel like it'd be very hard to make Overwatch better in terms of like, it's like, because at some point, like, are you saying you're going to get rid of the original Overwatch? You know, like,
yeah,
that's
an update.
It's just
a $60 update. Yeah,
somebody described it as Overwatch 1.2, and I was like, damn, that's really harsh.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking. That's like that's literally an update. So yeah, they said it feels a lot better, but besides that, it's the same game essentially. So yeah.
Well, all I know is I don't trust EA with my life. I wouldn't let EA hold my baby. So I don't care who buys them. I don't give a shit. I hope they close down. I just
Oh man. The funniest tweet I saw is, all right, so if they sell, are they gonna just sell the base company and then the departments are gonna be DLC? that got a good laugh out of me.
It's pretty funny.
That's pretty good. But yeah, EA is definitely not known as the best publisher in the world by any means. But I mean, I don't
know.
really want to
in the current landscape of the big publishers.
In the current, like, they're definitely not. They
look pretty. They look pretty nice compared to Ubisoft and Activision.
Right, yeah, for sure. I guess the thing is with them, they have consistently won like what worst company.
Like, that was 2012. well, it's 10 years ago.
Well, the last big EA scandal I remember was Battlefront 2. That's the last big one, and that was huge. That was huge. That was bad because I remember Battlefront 2 was one of my most anticipated games of that year, and the state that game launched in was egregious. Like, and I feel like since then they have not released anything of note.
Hold on.
Am I tripping?
They have. Yes, you are, because they have an EA Sports cricket game.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
A cricket 05, 04, 02, 07. No 06.
I thought I was missing something legit,
man. They did. I mean, they did put out Game of the Year. It Takes Two last year, and they did also put out shit show Battlefield 2042.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not all one. They are still putting out relevant stuff, and two, they are still putting out trash.
So it's basically been the same. They've basically been doing the same thing. Yeah, it's like they've been not hemorrhaging. They've been like treading water. You know, like a dog swimming. It's like he's gonna stay afloat, but he's not going nowhere. You know.
But how is that different from Ubisoft or Activision Blizzard? I mean,
that's fair enough.
I feel like Call of Duty at the very least like continues to sell gangbusters and is still the biggest, usually like besides Fortnite, the biggest game in the world. And EA really can't really claim that. Like they used to like
FIFA,
that's
or EA Sports FC.
It's like that's true, but I feel like sports games don't really count in that equation because they're so like the same shit. You know, I feel like Call of Duty at the very least, like there's something different every single year. You know, like sports games, I almost feel like they don't count. Maybe I'm being unfair, but sports games are just the same thing every single. And I love sports games,
Yeah.
but I can't give a company credit for releasing a sports game. You know, like no one's saying, "Oh, Take-Two's killing it because they're releasing 2K every year." It's like, yeah, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to paint a holistic picture of like where they sit right now in terms of the big independent publishers, right?
Yeah, they were definitely number one for a long time. And then I feel like once Call of Duty took a stranglehold on the industry, I feel like that's when things started to change. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually know how big EA was prior to Call of Duty in comparison to Activision. But I just think like if Activision, if Ubisoft, why not EA in terms of acquisition, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
looking at their list, I'm like, they've got some safe bets. Like, put out a Sims game, people are gonna play it. Put it like
Sims VR would be amazing.
Oh yeah, why haven't they Sims VR?
that's a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, any of these sports games, they got Apex. They got. You're right. It's a pretty safe bet.
I'm
It's a
sorry.
safe-
Apex is a great game. I'm sorry. That's the game I was missing. They do make Apex. Give them credit for that.
They own Respawn. Respawn's a great studio.
They are. They released the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So
And
they-
Respawn's working on 2 more Star Wars games as well.
right. So it's not, they're not a trash publisher.
Dead
by any
Space remake
means.
coming, you know.
Yeah, they got
There's
good
good
stuff
stuff on the horizon.
They got stuff. They definitely got some very good properties that they're working on, and very good. They have very good developers as well. I think
Hopefully we can
Dice has been kind of falling from grace, but I think they can easily make a good game again.
We could see a Peggle 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Skate 4 whenever that comes out.
It wasn't just NBC Universal. There were a few other suitors, Disney and Amazon and Apple, among the biggest ones. Do you think that the acquisition talk has cooled down for now, or do you think we will imminently see an announcement of EA selling to one of these companies?
I believe Apple's going to buy one of these studios.
See,
I don't know which one. Maybe EA, but I think they're going to buy one of them.
Yeah, and that's the most interesting because I feel like the NBC buy is the least interesting of those. If Apple, Amazon, or what was the other one? Disney. I feel like those are more interesting than the NBC Comcast buy. This is just
I put the Disney with the NBC Comcast where it's like that's not I put Disney right there with that where I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
Amazon they've shown they care about game. They want to get into gaming. So I would be interested to see what a EA Amazon merger looks like. I think Apple would be very interesting because Apple, they have been trying to get into gaming too. I don't understand why they haven't pulled the plug. They haven't done it yet, but I feel like they'd be a good fit for EA. I think so.
Yeah, I feel like of the grouping that we mentioned, Amazon probably makes the most sense. They certainly have the biggest appetite for games.
What about Google with Stadia?
That's done.
I think Amazon's.
Yeah, I feel like no one's announced that Stadia is officially dead, but I have not heard anything about Stadia since Cyberpunk came out.
Yeah. I think Amazon makes the most sense. Like I could see myself waking up in a world where I'm like EA is owned by Amazon and go, that makes sense. But if it was like Disney, I'd be like, ugh, this again.
I feel like Apple makes the most sense to me just because I think they're going to do something in gaming.
They have a VR headset.
Yeah, like they're gonna have a VR headset relatively soon. I expect that within the next year, and at least announce in the next year.
Apple is holding up our economy. If they fail, if they make a risky move on a gaming studio, the greatest recession of all time will probably happen.
Goodbye,
Like,
America.
You said they're holding up our economy.
oh, they're practically holding up the stock market. So
I mean, the thing is, they could make.
And-
They have so much money that they could make a mistake. They have Microsoft money, so it's like they can make a mistake and it's whatever. Like
maybe.
I don't think that EA failing, and EA is not going to fail. Like they have so many properties that are going to sell no matter what. That I mean, it's a pretty safe bet if you buy them. It's going to make money in some capacity. So I think that if they're going to do VR stuff, though, they're going to need developers. They're going to need that. And I feel like it just it's a really good fit for me. Like if you need developers to start working on your exclusive VR stuff, I think you're going to want to have a partner like EA.
It would, to me, honestly, the thing that would make most sense is like if Microsoft bought them. Honestly,
God, don't say that.
But that would,
oh my
that would,
God,
that I could see being like the most normal. Like I'm surprised they weren't owned by Microsoft. Like that shocks me. But
I think Ben,
I guess.
I think Ben made the point maybe like a month ago that Microsoft's probably not buying anybody for a little bit.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think that they're cooling. They're going to cool off on that. I feel like the next big acquisition from Microsoft is a year or two away.
Yeah.
So I feel that is they're probably going to stay away from it. I don't think, and Sony obviously can't buy them.
One interesting thing about this Comcast or NBC Universal merger with EA, which is a bit different, is that the CEO of Comcast, according to this Kotaku article, was looking to spin off NBC Universal and EA as a single business unit with Andrew Wilson as the head.
That's EA's
right?
CEO.
As the head of the NBC Universal EA entertainment conglomerate. That's crazy. First of all, that's nuts. Either Comcast is looking to divest, as in they're trying to get rid of their holdings on NBC Universal, or they're looking to beef up more, and this is going to be a huge business unit that's under Comcast, as in umbrella.
NBC is going big digital right now. NBC couldn't care less about TV right now. They only want the internet. That is NBC's like big goal is digital media. They're done with TV.
Yeah.
To me, this says that NBC Universal is not done sniffing around for game companies that are looking to get bought.
I agree.
And we know that Ubisoft might be, right? So if the EA thing fell through here, is NBC Universal talking to other interested parties?
Potential buyers.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I definitely think that's possible. I mean, if you think of I think of like broadcast, I think of the big three or big four: Fox, CBS, NBC, and ABC. NBC has done the best job out of those four as far as like going digital and streaming. Like for sure.
They've like
Fox has failed.
Stuff now.
Well, ABC is owned by Disney.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like ABC, like they're not doing anything to me besides like I don't like ABC is still ABC, right?
I love watching ABC News. I love watching ABC News, and like it's like the last story, like the last block of the show is always like a puff piece, and the puff piece will be like little kid always wanted to meet his hero. Doctor Strange, and he finally got to meet Benedict Cumberbatch, and then it will end, and like you'll have the reporter standing there, and the camera zooming in. And she's like, "Oh, by the way, ABC is owned entirely by Disney." It's just like a little. I love that so much.
Don't forget to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Why don't count ABC as like Disney? Like, because you could say anything about Fox. Fox is owned by ABC.
No, Fox isn't.
Fox News isn't.
Right.
But
Fox, so the network,
the network is.
The network is.
Owned by who?
Is owned by ABC.
Fox is
Disney.
owned by
ABC. Disney.
No,
Disney.
Fox though.
Fox, Disney.
Disney owns Fox?
Yes.
Simpsons.
Yeah, they own
Disney
The Simpsons, they own Family Guy, they own all those Fox shows.
No, okay, so here's the difference. 20th Century Fox. They don't own Fox News.
They don't own Fox
No.
News, but they own Fox everything else. Fox News was
And
the
the-
only
Yeah.
Fox News
the
and
only-
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the only reason that they don't own Fox News is because that was going to get them into antitrust trouble.
Gotcha.
Right.
So Fox News spun off of Fox.
Isn't that go
When the
against
merger
their
happened.
political values too? Because aren't they Disney?
I
Is
don't feel like
mostly
they have
left-
political value. I don't think they have
I don't-
political values.
No.
I don't
It's
think they
all a
were.
lie.
I will say this though. I don't think they were sad to let that aspect of the business go.
Yeah.
No.
I think they were perfectly fine with getting all of the movie studio on all of the networks,
Yeah.
and not the potentially controversial news network.
Yeah.
Right. Especially since they own like a very milquetoast news network.
ABC is the most garbage channel, most garbage news. ABC is the worst.
I don't know.
No.
Honestly, that's a conversation for another day because we could get into the garbage. Like, there's some really garbage ones that we will not talk about.
Sure. But out of the big four.
Oh, okay. They're the most milquetoast. I expect the worst takes from them. Yes, I agree with you on that.
But that said, I personally, I know that NBC absolutely wants to go digital. They hate TV. They want out. They want to be a multimedia conglomerate. They want the internet to be their focus. I mean, the whole fact that they've been like talking about doing esports was blew my mind when I opened that email. It's like, what the fuck? Because I never heard any of that when I worked for CBS. Like they were still trying to hold on to TV, like big time. So and we can see how their streaming service is doing with shows like Halo. So
well, maybe one day we'll be able to stream EA Sports FC off of Peacock, and maybe we'll be looking forward to that one day. But any final thoughts on EA potentially being bought by 4 companies? Do we have any guesses on who's going to get them?
Probably NBC, Comcast. I mean, isn't Comcast and NBC one of like the biggest corporations in America? Like
they're huge.
Top 3.
I don't think they're top 3, but they're very huge. They're a very big company. Hell, I wouldn't be shocked if Verizon throws their hat in this. It seems like it's buying season. I don't know. I do not like this in terms of like all the big publishers seem to be, they're going to be taken off the board. Between the next 2 years, it feels like all the big, like between Ubisoft, EA, Take-Two, it just to me feels like they're all going to be under new management.
If they're not going to Sony or Microsoft, though, I feel like it's good for the gaming industry for them to go to someone else, because then they'll still be publishing for equally for Sony and Microsoft. I feel like the worst situation is if they go to, if Sony and Microsoft gets them.
That's true.
You were right, Thomas. NBC, Comcast is not in the top 3, but it is 4. It is bigger than Disney.
Well, after the merger, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that merger definitely made them like huge, like way huge. So that makes sense.
Yeah. They're massive. They're smaller than Johnson & Johnson, though. If Johnson & Johnson jumped in to buy EA, that'd be pretty cool. That
would. You can book your vaccine. You can book your vaccine appointment on the streaming service. Get a free vaccine when you purchase EA FC.
You start buying the baby powder, but it's got Madden on it. Madden baby powder.
Pfizer's about to buy Ubisoft. Oh my god, I'm not a fan of these corporate mergers, but they're fun to talk about.
They're pretty
but
funny.
It's also fun doing this podcast. I want to thank everybody for listening or watching the Dukes of Gaming podcast. Again, you can listen to us on your favorite podcast service. Watch us on YouTube. Watch us live on Twitch. Leave a like, a review, a comment, anything to help support the show. You can even email us at therealdukesofgaming@gmail.com. Have your question read live on air. So when Cole is here, he's usually here, he's going to raise your question live on air. Hit the bell as well to get notifications on when we drop our videos. We post everywhere, every week. So make sure you start your week right with the Dukes of Gaming podcast. And with all that being said, I bid thee farewell.